We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Pointing Out the Obvious. This is our news, politics, and sports betting webcast. I'm your host, Dizzy the Cooler Brunson, and over there is my very lucky producer, Veronica. Together we're here to quip and quiver through today's headlines, searching for the real, no matter how deep into the swamp we need to go. Happy Sports Betting Thursday to you, Veronica. Boy, let me tell you something. If consistency was an award, we would win it. Another 1-in-3 week, Veronica. Let's see who took care of business. A recap of last week. Buffalo over Houston and big 40-0, and they just kept it under the over and under of 47 points, so we ended up winning pretty big on that bet. Great for us.
Yep.
The two losers, Notre Dame, took a nosedive against Cincinnati. That was completely unexpected. I thought Notre Dame was going to come out better than they did. Nope. But the coach from Cincinnati, he's one of the candidates for the USC head coaching job. Boy, he looked pretty good. Finkel, that coach put on a pretty nice resume for the athletic director for USC, depending on if they're going to offer him a job or not. Not a bad showing.
Yep.
Remember I talked to you about the teacher was going to go against the student, Alabama versus Ole Miss. Well, the teacher took it to the student and big time. So much so that the 14 points that we bet on that Ole Miss was going to keep it under, no, they lost by 21 points. Thanks. Oh, it was so embarrassing. The head coach, who used to be the head coach of USC, Lane Kiffin, even did a mic drop before the game. Get your popcorn ready was what he said before he ended up going down 35-0 before halftime. So
that's bad. That's really bad.
Not a good showing. All right, this week's can't miss bet the house picks. And Veronica, this week's I really wish we had mansions that we could put down as a bet because these are definitely can't lose. Let's start off with the professionals.
Yep.
The NFL. Good news for us. Veronica, we survived another week on our suicide pool. We're now in week 5. Remember, we took a detour from our previous strategy of always following Detroit, the doormat of the league.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. So they ended up losing anyway. But who we chose was Buffalo. And remember how I said Buffalo took it to Houston, wasn't even close? Well, we're going back to following Detroit. This week, they're going to a really strong team, Minnesota Vikings. So we're taking Minnesota Vikings. They're a 7.5-point favorite, sweetheart. They're going to cover that. They're going to beat Detroit. They're going to cover the spread, and we're choosing Minnesota Vikings to be our suicide team for the week. Excuse me. Tampa Bay at home against the Miami Dolphins. Boy, Tampa Bay coming off a big loss. Tom Brady is a very competitive guy. He's going to come back in the next game, and he's going to show off, and he's going to prove that last week was just a blip on the radar. And who's going to be the victims? I mean, the opponents? It's going to be the Miami Dolphins. They're already down 10.5 points, dogs against Tampa Bay. You know how we love dogs, right? Yeah. But in this particular instance, I think at home and Tom Brady being a little ticked off over last week's loss, they're going to cover the spread, and they're going to keep it under the 48 points. So we'll take Tampa Bay as the favorites, 10.5 points, and we're going to keep it on the under 48 points. I've got this on the notes. Last, this is a juicy one. Stanford, University of Stanford. So we're going to college now. University of Stanford is coming to local ASU. They're playing this weekend.
Wow, that's good.
Oh, Stanford is a 13-point underdog, meaning Arizona State is expected to beat the pants off of Stanford. I don't think it's going to happen, Veronica. We're taking Stanford and the points. Stanford to keep the beating underneath 13 points. I think ASU will win. I think they'll squeak out one, but watch out for those Cardinals at Stanford. They've been sneaking up on a lot of people, including USC this week. Veronica, I promise you, with this haul that we're bringing in this week, we might be taking a vacation and might have to give this a rest for at least a week or two. Yeah. What do you say?
Well, yeah, I agree. But I have a question for you. So if you were playing right now, right, in football, what position will you choose?
Oh, very good.
Defense or...
So in high school, I had the... fortune of playing both ways. I played both offense and defense. I played as a running back on offense.
Were you good at running?
I was very good at running. Oh, the people that saw me run, they would always be amazed by how many yards I was able to gain by how slow I was, but I was just shifty. And then on defense, they had me as a strong safety, right?
Nice.
Strong being, well, I don't even have to explain that. But safety being the one that was going to be the last person between the ball carrier and the goal line. It was always me. And consequently, on 3 of those occasions, I made the tackle, but I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you for sharing.
Guys, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but there's definitely your opinion. Please, don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth on a daily basis, but lend your voice to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, it doesn't matter if you lean to the right. It doesn't matter if you lean to the left. As long as you treat the person in front of you kindly, you just made the world a better place.